My name is Ben Knutson, and I'm a lens developer. I started creating lenses when Snapchat released Lens Studio back in late 2017. At the time, I was working on my IT degree and I was looking for a way to learn coding. Once I discovered Lens Studio, I realized it was the perfect outlet for me to learn coding and also be creative. I started off small, learning little by little, but I quickly fell in love with the whole process of creating lenses, and I decided I wanted to pursue a career in AR. So I started my company, KAR Graphics. I kept learning more and started to make basic interactive lenses as I got better at coding. I shared my work, and luckily, companies started to take notice and pay me to make lenses for them. Since then, I've been continuously working to learn more and hone my skills in various aspects of augmented reality development. And that is how I made it to this year, where I created the FaceMorph lens. The concept of the FaceMorph lens is pretty simple. The Snapchatter can tap or drag their face to morph or distort it in some way. It gives Snapchatters full control over how they want their face to look, no matter how crazy. After I published and shared this lens, it quickly took off, and soon it gained over 500 million views within the span of a month. I was so surprised and ecstatic to see all the different people around the world playing with the lens and having a good time. This excitement from Snapchatters continues today. Just this fall, the FaceMorph lens was recognized and rewarded as a part of the new Snap AR Lens Creator Rewards program. This program celebrates our creativity and community by giving us a chance to receive a monthly reward. It's been amazing to see how many Snapchatters use this lens every day. I'm able to track this in my lenses to see the metrics on how the lens performed. This information also helped me to understand why the lens resonated with Snapchatters. I was able to see that this lens was gathering a lot of views and plays in a short period of time, but more importantly, it was being shared a lot more frequently than other lenses that I've created. I think that is a very important metric to pay attention to. How many people saw your lens or used your lens is important, but if they shared the lens with other people, I think that is something that really makes it stand out from the others. I created the FaceMorph lens because I noticed some of my specific lenses were gaining lots of traction, particularly lenses that allowed Snapchatters to express an emotion or make a funny face. I wanted to lean into that, so instead of creating another lens with a single type of FaceMorph, I added a long list and gave everyone the chance to choose how they wanted to distort their face. So let's talk briefly about how I created this lens and how you can create one like it yourself. I started in Blender, importing the Lens Studio Face Mesh 3D file. Then I created blend shapes, or shape keys as they're called in Blender. Then I used the sculpt tools to create distortions on the face. When I was finished, I exported as an FBX file ready to be used in Lens Studio. Once I had the FBX file imported in Lens Studio, I connected it to the face projection resource available in the asset library, and I did some custom scripting to connect all the different blend shapes. I did some fine tuning, and then I published. Since this project is a bit more complex, I decided to create an easy template that you can use to create your own face distortion lens. You can make people wink, give them a big smile, or really anything you want. You just need to bring in your custom face mesh distortion with its blend shape, then attach it to the template script. Feel free to download the template project using the link in the description and try it out yourself. So now you know how it works, but let's talk about why I think it did so well. One of the big reasons why I think this lens blew up so quickly is because it's highly interactive. But what does that mean exactly? An interactive lens will allow Snapchatters to affect the lens outcome in some way. This could be as simple as tapping the screen, or it could be something complex like a facial expression or a specific hand gesture. When you encourage your audience to interact with your AR experience, it allows them to sort of invest themselves in the lens. With a linear experience, they only get one single outcome. When they have options, they get the opportunity to make their own unique experience, which I think helps them connect more deeply with the lens. There are a few steps that I think you should consider when you're brainstorming your next big lens project. The first is to know your audience. The beauty of Lens Studio is that you are given a wide range of information about the types of Snapchatters that engage with your lenses the most. This is a great way for you to narrow down your experiences and cater them to your specific audience. Just like your lens insights, you can see your audience insights in the My Lenses tab. For example, if your audience is mostly interested in gaming and sports, then making beauty and makeup lenses might not be the best way to connect with them. It would be much more beneficial to create lenses that are centered around their interests. Another big piece of advice that I can give is that you should be constantly looking at what lenses perform well and which ones don't. This is valuable information that can help you refine your future experiences so that you can lean into the type of lenses that worked well. And this is exactly what I did with my Face Morph lens. I saw that the facial distortion lenses were performing better than others that I had created recently. I decided to create something that was entirely focused on allowing users to create their own facial distortions. It is a constant learning process, and each time you create something new, you'll get more information that'll help you know what will get the most engagement from your audience. And finally, and possibly most importantly, you need to share your work as much as possible. It's not enough to simply create a lens and hope that people discover it. There are thousands of new lenses being created around the world every day, so it's essential that you share your work. This could be as simple as sharing it on your story, but it doesn't have to stop there. You can save a story to your public profile, post a video to Spotlight, and of course, share it with your friends. Showing others how to use your lens with an example is the best way to help it take off. These efforts can bring in a whole new audience that you didn't have before. The more you share your work, the more likely it is that your work will be noticed and it will take off just like my Face Morph lens did. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that I was able to offer you some insight into making your own viral lenses. There are 250 million Snapchatters engaging with AR every day, so there is no better place to showcase your work. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email. And it's up to us to shape the future of augmented reality, so remember, this is your canvas, a world where imagination meets innovation. So get out there and create, innovate, and captivate.